things going on, and it's. Do you feel like, in your view of Salem, things are kind of taking shape?
Well, I think so, and
maybe more so than.
It's a collective. More offerings we can do, the more people get engaged and then want to be in the downtown corridor, want to stay in Washington County, and I think that's the goal. And you look at some of the calendars and we're trying to merge all that information, by the way. But when you look at all the things that you can do, it's hard to make that argument when somebody says there's nothing to do. Gosh, it may not be your flavor this week, but next week, gosh, there is something all the time. You can take it from sports.
Sure.
Our schools are so busy. Our local athletics, you can find something almost every night to attend.
Yep.
And then a lot of our service clubs, Beck's Mill to any of the other service clubs, just a lot of things they put on. And then again, the museum, the John Hay Center, the train depot, and just getting out. My gosh, spend some time at Lake Celinda and some of the improvements we've done there, the Monon South walking trail. It's hard to say you can't find something to do.
How so is the bike trail still going on out there at Celinda?
Yes, the Eagles Trace mountain bike trail was crafted by some of our local residents. Mr. Kirshner, Mr.
Yes.
Spalding,
Yes.
put that together and did a great job. And so, yes, if you are so inclined, you can take and start at the boat ramp, the trailhead, if you will, there at Celinda, and go around the entire property on this Eagle Trace mountain bike trail. Now, bike or hike, that's your discretion. A lot of people just walk it. And
is it a fairly level
no,
area?
it is not. It is terrain challenged in some places.
I found we started riding bikes, but it's a lot easier when it's flat or maybe a little decline than it is uphill.
Something about that uphill and how much further?
We were afraid to go down the hill to Borden because then we would have to come back up, and that seemed like a long way to have to push the bike.
Push the bike, walk, stroller, whatever you may not.
It's kind of embarrassing to be pushing the bike in front of other people.
Well, now you could come up with some relative excuse. The tires went low, the brake's not quite right. You could stand behind your reason.
Yeah, make up a name for a part that if you don't know.
Exactly.
I did have a piece that was broken. I forget what it was called, but I'd never heard of it before. Anyway, there were some guys that come up from, I think they were from Borden maybe or New Albany, that had a bike club that they love this, and they can't wait to get it all connected.
Oh my! When you talk about the connectivity between those trailheads and all the communities, that is going to turn into a real attraction.
Yeah, because we go maybe 4 or 5 miles at a click, but most of it's pretty steady. So I could see. I mean, 10, 15 miles didn't seem like it would be that bad.
No.
Now I say that, but
you say, well, sure.
And these bikes do. I mean, it's not an e-bike, but with all the gears, you can find at least one gear out of 18 or 20 that
pretty tall. That's you don't do much work.
Yeah.
Assist. Right.
But there's but the having these. So how do you know how many on the bricks we'll have?
Gosh, I don't have it in front of me. Didn't bring that. Pardon me, but I think there was. We start in May and through all the way through December.
Okay.
So I think we're about 10 events scheduled.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So about one a month.
There's 3 months. I believe it's got 2.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be nice, because I know last year people were really like, we'd like to
see
keep
more.
this going.
Yes, and that was the thrust is, hey, this is great. We love doing something on a Friday night, and you know, we don't necessarily want to drive too far, and this is perfect. And so it did. It went very well.
And I think not only the attendance but the participation will be amped up this year because people came and saw last year. They liked it.
Yeah.
They I didn't. You have. You could do whatever here, and there'd be people. Well, I didn't know about it.
True, and that's
or I had plans for something else and couldn't.
Yeah, and I get it, and we're all on that boat of a full schedule. You know, our personal schedules, and you can't make everything. But hey, maybe this year you can, and if you miss something, find out what it is.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of activity out here this week. Switching gears to Kimball Boulevard, they've got that paved, and they need to stripe it, and I think we're pretty well done on that.
That was probably for us one of the record projects in terms of speed and ease and coming together full circle. So yeah, Greg, that's one of our community crossing matching grant awards, so CCMG as we call it. And yeah, that road, gosh, as everybody can imagine, that goes to that shopping development, it just has a lot of traffic.
Sure.
And it was already a commercial road for our friends at the end. You know, Kimball has to have that road, has always used that road, and so you know they have quite a bit of heavy traffic as well. And then you put the retail heavy traffic and between commercial deliveries and just the you know everyday traffic of the cars visiting the patrons. That road was getting beat up. It was really getting beat up and needed some attention more than just a little bit of patchwork. It was really beyond some patchwork. So that project fit very well in the CCMG requirements, and because there wasn't a lot of utility work that was in conflict with the roadbed, that really sped that one up. And so basically getting that curb and gutter all the way down to the end of the road to collect that stormwater correctly. That was the first step, and then it was basically milling and then paving. It went very well. So you're right. It's nearly done. Goodness, just kind of some high spots to finish. Like you said, the striping. And there'll just to be a few more pieces to it, and that one will be same as done.
I mean, they were able to work on the gutter or the curbing without much bother to the traffic.
There was very little lane restriction there because of the width of that already. It was a good wide road when it was built. That was one advantage. You're right. So we were able to use that and not really have much conflict with the vehicles coming in and out, and so we kept it open in that sense. Yes, there was a few lane diversions, and they flagged just a little bit, but it went well because of the width of it, and it allowed that curb to go in and pour that concrete, and very little interruption.
Now, the site. So you've got your money for this year, for this year's program, and then are you already working on applying or already applied for next year?
It is always that mindset. What can we do next, and not miss an opportunity.
Sure.
And I've said that a few times with Becky, and we've talked about the grant applications. And you're right, Greg. Salem has done so well. We've gotten good marks on our scoring. We've got good engineers that have figured out what it takes, what we need. And again, these are grant dollars that if we don't apply, somebody else is going to. That's just the reality. And our road needs are no less than anybody else's.
Sure.
As everything ages, it gets used. It needs changed in some way. Not everything lasts, and not everything makes sense when it was done 30 and 40 years ago. Now we need to change this curb, we need to change this driveway, we need to add a culvert. Just things change, and all those changes over time, as you well know, take more money.
Sure.
And so with the community crossing matching grant program that NDOT has allowed the local governments to apply to, it's just such a blessing in that sense of getting such a bang for your buck. And so yes, we are in the midst of another round of application work, and you have to have all that pre-engineered. You have to have it identified. You have to have a scope of work. And so you're right. We are working on another round and figuring out what it would take, what the needs are, and those are lengthy. It takes 4 or 5 months sometimes to get it all ironed out.
When do they award? Will they award next year's later this year?
Yes. As far as things don't change, there was a little bit of a schedule rehab on that through NDOT, and so it is just once a year now. But you're right, we should have everything ready to apply, and forgive me, I don't have that in front of me either. I think we apply in October.
Okay.
But yes, we're getting everything ready.
Okay. Well, that's good because it's good money, and it helps you do things without taxpayer.
Very little. And it is still all user base. A lot of that's your gasoline tax that the state collects.
Yeah.
So we are paying for it. I won't discount that. But again, if we don't apply for this, somebody else is, and we should invest in our local streets just as much as anybody else.
Sure. And the around the courthouse, the 56 North Main Street, and South Main Street, it's just making things look fresh and nice, and that'll last for
sure,
a long time. Now I'm bouncing around like popcorn. You were talking about Celinda. You were doing some campsites out there. How's that?
Well, it is a work in progress. That is one that I have to say, takes longer and is still taking longer. Different avenues for funding, multi-projects going on the same property, and so that's what's kind of hard for me to put the brakes on some days. Is that I'd like to have it done, but it just can't happen overnight. Yeah. And so there's a series of things going on, and first we did some remodel, and we added the kayak launch. We changed, like I said, the trails. Now we got the 2 trails. You got the Veterans Trail, which is the original walking trail. Now we got the Eagles Trace. We worked on the bathhouse, the new structure that's almost finished. And in prep, that yes, there would be at some point some camping opportunities there, and it's still not done. And it's as money comes, as money for those grants that fit that project allow us to expend some dollars. And so not there. That's the key. We're not there yet, but a lot of things are going because that property just become very obvious of how much people enjoy it, how many people want to stay out there. This large body of water that attracts people. I mean, that's just a key. It's an attraction. And so whether you want to go out there with a picnic and stay the afternoon, or by chance you want to spend the weekend, and that's our goal. That's where that low-hanging fruit. You don't have to drive 2 states away.
No.
You forget something, you can drive right back to town. We're right here, and it's just a cool place and very underutilized. And so we're inching towards that. Again, that's just one of those we have to take it in pieces. But to your point, that's our goal. Yes.
Good deal. If you were to, we were talking about this the other day. If you could wake up tomorrow and do anything you wanted to do city-wise, what would be a dream?
This may be counterintuitive a little bit. It would be nice to have more available real estate.
Yeah.
And I guess to clarify my thoughts there, the city itself was built in a very tight network,
sure.
which all of them were,
sure.
in 100, 200 years ago, when things were established. There obviously was a center of town for a reason, and obviously Salem has the same look, but the way some of our borders are and how we don't have a lot of available space left, and so when you think about things that, okay, you want them downtown, but where would you put it?
Mm-hmm.
And then you think, gosh, no, that wouldn't work, and we got a creek here, and we got a factory there. It just. So I guess if I had my way and could make a wish and change some things, I wish we had a little bit more available real estate.
Yeah. Is that how? I mean, do you expand the
there are
city limits out?
there are ways to do some annexation, and that's not what I'm asking for.
No, I know. We're just.
But to your point, and we've had some voluntary, and that's where that's pretty cool actually. So sometimes we've had owners come to us and say, we would like push the limit to me, and we want this 20 acres in the city, and well, that's a little bit different. And so when a property owner or owners plural, say, hey, we want to do this. Well, yeah, so we can't expand the limits. Now that could be for development, that could be for future. Maybe there's speculation, but we actually did that. Well, since I've been mayor, we've done that 3 times now.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, and so those then folks are now part of the city, and they get the city services. But no, going after ground is a taboo topic, and certainly no, I'm not advocating that a bit. But you're right, that's one way other cities have done it, and they had no choice. But then they also get to the point where, and you look at some of the cities in the middle part of the state, they all went together, and they're running together. In other words, so you cross one corporation to another, they've almost all connect.
Like every once in a while, you see like the Louisville airport will say we're buying.
Yeah.
2 acres or 20 acres or whatever. Is that how a city would do that? You would actually purchase.
If the local government needed it and wanted it, and that land seller was good with that, certainly.
Okay. I just didn't know how that worked.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. We were talking Monday about county goals and ideas, and but even for city or for schools or whatever, your home, it all boils down to a pot of money.
Yeah.
And you can only do what you can do, and you can either make the pot bigger or just find ways to do more with less. And,
right.
And it seems like as we go forward, we have less to work with through one reason or another.
One reason or another. And that's an interesting point, because we all have, I guess a wish list of sorts, but also some requirements. So and everything costs more. It just does. It'd be nice to have a little more money.
Yeah. We battle that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it's across the board. Becky always likes to look at what today is, so I pulled that up here. It is College Student Grief Awareness Day. I don't know. I'm not sure. Sometimes you have a little grief. It's Day of the Mushroom. Are you a mushroom fan?
Yeah, I don't have the time. Not making excuses. I guess I could, get up out of bed early and maybe do it before go to work.
Are you successful at finding mushrooms?
I cannot say that. I have no claim to large finds and trophy pictures. No.
I've probably walked on more than I've ever found.
I enjoy it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But you always get jealous when you hear somebody say, "Oh, we found 200. We found 300." And good grief, how's that?
John Meade was a expert mushroom hunter. They would. My parents owned some land up in Michigan, and people would start, I guess, probably in Tennessee, and work their way up.
Okay.
As the season goes on, and they would. I remember, this is a while ago, so I don't know what it would be now, but they would be selling them for like $50 a gallon up there back 20 years.
Sure.
So I don't know what it goes for now, but
I don't know.
It's a weird delicacy, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Mushrooms and some fried potatoes is pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Spring treat. National Auctioneers Day. That's kind of something that's there's not that many anymore.
No, it's got to be a lost art.
I guess this is in celebration of the day after tax day, but it's National Bean Counter Day. So if you're an accountant, it's kind of a
I suppose.
or a budget person. National Cash Day.
Hmm.
National Eggs Benedict Day. I don't think I've ever had that.
Pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
What are they?
I couldn't tell you how to make them, but that's one of mine. I haven't.
A poached egg, English muffin, and bacon.
Yeah.
Covered in hollandaise.
That hollandaise adds it. Yeah.
I never had that. National Librarian Day. Orchid Day. Our orchid needs a little attention, I think. Probably needs a little water. Save the Elephant Day. World Semicolon Day.
Okay.
How to use the semicolon?
All right.
I was always told I use commas too much.
Probably, yeah. I would say I'm the same.
Nothing like working hard on a paper, turning it in, and come back with a lot of red marks on it.
Little circles, X's, yeah.
Shoot. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, today's National High Five Day.
Oh my. Okay.
I don't know what's a do you shake hands still? Do you high five?
You know,
or do
fist
you
bump? Right.
I know that was like the COVID thing, but I don't know that we've really recovered from some of this stuff that took over during COVID.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so funny because you approach somebody you know, and you're not sure what is the protocol. And I laugh because then I'm trying to fist bump them and they're trying to shake my hand. Then you're okay. Then they'll switch and I'll switch and we still got it wrong.
Since it's tax time and you get your refund back, what would you splurge on?
Oh, I never thought of that. Gosh, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Would you go buy some headphones or
no,
a watch or some clothes or shoes?
That's an interesting question. All good steak dinner would be right at the top.
There you go.
Yeah. Not much of a refund though, would it?
No.
Well, no, actually, maybe that's a decent refund right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Medium well or medium rare? How do you like your steak?
Oh, yeah, that's a debate, isn't it? I always hedge on ordering medium because I know it'll come medium well in my travels, I guess. So I try to order medium.
Okay, that's what I go for too. And the other day we got one and it was a little rare.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But I mean, you get one and some of it's right, some of it's not right.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get one and it's just way too.
A little too.
And then once they try to they might as well just start over.
Yeah.
Because it's.
Yeah. You're right.
You can't.
There's a window there.
And I wonder what they do. Do they actually put it back on the grill, or do they try to nuke it?
I'd assume nuke it.
And that's never good.
No, because I mean, if you think about most of the, they're taking orders, so what's going on in the kitchen. They're I would think they'd have to nuke it. I don't think they'd have room to go back on the grill or whatever they're cooking, cast iron, whatever. But I don't know. Maybe some of them do. Who knows?
Now, do you charcoal or do you gas?
Gas.
Yeah. We had to go gas because charcoal takes too long.
Impatient.
We didn't have
That's
patient
right.
kids or anybody.
Or me.
I mean, that's
right.
They're like, "Is it ready, honey? That's not even hot yet." I'm squirting lighter fluid on it.
One bottle down. Where's the other bottle?
Oh man, but that's a game changer though when you go from charcoal for years to to now I'd like to experiment with a griddle, but I don't know. They seem like they rust up quite a bit.
Yeah, there's some maintenance there.
And can you get that off?
Yeah. I've fell in that same problem with my griddle, and I was able to bring it back.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Is it just? I mean, even if you cover it, does it still rust or?
Yes, where I had it stored was just too much moisture in the air, so that was my problem. But if you can keep it more acclimated, I think you'd be all right.
Okay.
I think.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
they're kind of it's an investment. So
true enough. Yeah.
some of these are.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I always like to watch that. There was an ABC show where it was like a home makeover show, and they they would always do an outdoor kitchen.
Oh, okay, right.
And some of these were fantastic.
Yeah.
Probably thousands and thousands and thousands
Yeah.
of dollars. But that would be kind of cool to have that. But yeah.
I often wonder.
We wouldn't get a tax return that nice.
Well, and then as nice as it is, and you're right, they're really cool. But then how often would you? Would it become a primary use in the summer, or would it be one of those once a week? And did you really spend that kind of money for once a week?
Yeah, somebody with more money than sense. Sometimes you run into those people.
Oh yeah.
Had an outdoor fireplace.
Okay.
And said, if you want it, you can come take it apart. And
okay.
Just get it out of here because I'm getting a new one. Some people don't ever have them at all. So.
All right.
Yeah. This is like his third one. So we made like 3 trips to Louisville to load this up and bring it home and unload it.
Yeah.
And then waited about a year till I got things in line to do something, and then load it back and carry these hundreds of these stones.
Okay.
It's got the center actual fireplace part, and then it's got 2 openings on either side. And I learned a lot about stone masonry, but each level is called a course.
Oh, okay.
And so it had like 60 courses.
Wow.
To get this thing built, and so it was a project. But I thought we would use that. It's kind of nice to set out, have a fire, and but we haven't done it as much as we keep. We need to go out and
sure.
Mm-hmm. But you don't. I did light it up. It was nice enough over Christmas Eve, I think, that we had a fire going.
Oh, that's cool.
If people wanted to go out and set.
Yeah.
But even to get, I looked it up just to see how much it was, and I'm like, we would never buy that. So I hope it lasts.
Yeah, that's right.
I hope these stones last.
Yeah.
But anyway, you get something and you think it's gonna, and you hope that it's something that you use, and a lot of times we get things and we just don't.
Right.
And I get a friend that says if you haven't used it in 6 months, get rid of it.
I'm starting to think like that too. You can only walk around it so long, and it's in a way, it's just stuff. But yeah, I'm starting to think like that.
Yeah. I'd rather do something than buy something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, let's see. Here's some things back on to April 16th. Gee, we're already halfway.
I know.
Halfway through the month. I'm not a drug person, but in 83 years ago, it's kind of interesting, I guess. In 1943, a chemist in Switzerland named Albert Hofmann, a tiny amount of lysergic acid dithylamide, or LSD,
okay,
seeped through his finger.
Oh,
and it says he's the first person to take an LSD trip. So I guess he didn't have gloves on. He should have had gloves on.
He didn't read the warning.
1943, I don't know that they probably wore gloves.
Probably not.
Probably didn't wear gloves in the old fast food restaurants when they first opened back in the 40s and 50s.
No. No.
In 1964, the Rolling Stones released their first album.
Oh, okay.
Over in England. What else is going on? Oh, I don't know if you were a Michael Jackson Michael Jackson. There's a Michael Jackson biography movie coming out next week. So it'd be interesting.
Probably not.
No, not pass.
Yeah, pass.
They actually found it'll be out where you can watch it online, and I don't know if people rent movies. I guess you rent them online, but
yeah.
Well, there's so many things that we grew up with. It's over and done with.
True enough. Yeah.
Used to what was it? What was the store? Blockbuster.
Sure.
Or that we had rental stores here in town,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you just don't do that anymore.
No. No.
But they a couple of years ago they did an Elvis movie, a biography, and in doing that they found there's a salt mine out in Kansas that companies store their film.
Oh, okay.
Because this old film has to be kept at certain temperatures, and so it's cool enough in there to keep it from deteriorating. They found hundreds and hundreds of hours of Elvis film.
Sure. Right.
And so they made a concert video that was out in theaters this spring.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess he said that we got enough to make many, many more.
Is
I don't
that
know.
right?
I don't know that that's something to do.
That's cool.
Anyway, I don't know how well it did, but these bio movies are. Some of them are kind of different, but I have a feeling we might be sitting in the theater next Wednesday.
Uh-oh.
Watch.
All right.
We've had to, sometimes the interest
Too much.
don't align, but
Gotta find out.
We do what we do.
Right.
At least there's popcorn, right?
That's right.
And I think they said they were going to make it in 2 parts. So this one, because I said, are we going to get to the monkeys in Neverland, but I think they're going to split it and maybe do another one. So.
Huh.
But thank goodness for hot popcorn.
That's right.
Well, actually refillable popcorn.
Oh, didn't know that.
Oh yeah, you get the large and take it with you. Just fill up a bag over there.
Intermission, and I'll be right back.
And now they've got these collectible popcorn buckets.
Oh no.
So if you go see something like, there's another Spider-Man movie coming out this summer. There'll probably be some sort of a Spider-Man bucket.
Okay.
So for $30 you can take this home and set it in the corner and
walk around it for 6 months.
Yeah, the Wizard of Oz they had, or the Wicked they had popcorn buckets, and they had all these movies now have some kind of a collectible popcorn bucket or a cup, drink cup. We were at Disney World. They have that used to be called Disney Springs, and now it's called, I can't remember what it's called now, but it's like an off-property. Well, I don't know if it's their. I guess it would be theirs, but it's like a lot of Disney-related stores, but it's off.
Okay.
You don't have to have a ticket to get in there, and they have a theater. So we went in there just to walk in one time, and they had a probably 2.5 foot tall R2D2 popcorn bucket.
Wow.
So we had to walk around with that. It was a good. At least it held pretty good amount of popcorn.
Yeah, that wouldn't it? I believe you'd meet your daily quota.
Oh yeah. Good fiber.
That'd be enough.
That's a positive about popcorn. At least it's good fiber.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this is indicative of the network, but in 2003, CNN's website accidentally revealed obituaries prepared for people who hadn't died yet.
Oh no.
Ronald Reagan, Pope John Paul II, Nelson Mandela, Fidel Castro, and Dick Cheney.
Oh gosh.
I think I had heard this that sometimes if somebody's getting up in age, that they go ahead. A lot of the news outlets will prepare an obituary just to kind of have it
just ready to go.
Sort of. I mean, not everything, but a lot of things, and then just
interesting.
So somebody accidentally uploaded the wrong.
Whoops.
I'm not ready to start writing yet.
No.
So mine will be probably short anyway. Mine will be a one day event. Let's see. John Madden retired today. I didn't realize. I knew he was a broadcaster, but I had no idea he'd been a coach.
Oh, okay, right.
And then, of course, he's got these video games were named after him. But in 2009, today, he retired as a broadcaster. Okay, that's all that. So, IU, I think they might be getting some good basketball players for this next year, so that will hopefully help them. And then I'm not sure what's going on with football. I think they've still got some of their decent players back, and so.
Right.
Did you watch any of the moon or the rocket?
I watched it land.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Haven't seen one do that for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Been a long time. Now getting actually back on the moon, that would be.
Yeah.
Another chore.
Yeah. Right.
Would you ever go up in space if you had the chance?
I don't know. That's some forward thinking. I don't know if I'd do that or not. We're, obviously it's happening, and there's been a select few who've done it, but I don't know that I would want to as a field trip or a tourist spot. I don't know.
I would want to. I mean, they haven't had any accidents, so of course there's always, it's like being on an airplane. You never know.
That's right.
You never know. When it bumps and you kind of go up in your seat,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not the bravest on that. The pilot sometimes comes on and says, "Hey, we experienced a little turbulence back up here," and it's like, "Well, you experienced it back here too."
Yeah,
we're right there with you, buddy.
Thanks for the update.
But I did read that atmospherically, I was trying to think of the right word. Atmospherically, turbulence is getting worse, and I don't know if that's. I don't know. I can't remember what it said, why it said that was, but.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
My wife always said that when you cross the Rockies, it's kind of rough, but I don't think it was that bad. We were at the Denver airport, and you have to go all the way to the one end of the airport to even see the mountains, and they're quite a ways away. So I don't know how I thought Denver was surrounded by mountains, but when you come into the airport, it looks like you're landing in a field in Indiana.
I'd heard that too. Somebody else commented. It's so far out.
Yeah, and that's probably not a bad thing.
Right.
They probably don't want all that going on. Louisville's just wild. Well, a lot of cities, you're coming right across the interstates.
I know.
And when you're driving, the planes are
right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
But anyway, when we got to meet William Shatner a couple years ago, he had just went up in one of those, and he said that he just bawled when he came back down. He said it's the most. He said I've obviously never really been to space, even though but he said it was one of the most touching experiences. He said he just bawled.
I could see that. It would be.
And then when you're weightless up there, he said that was an experience too.
Mm-hmm.
But he's actually going to be, I don't know if you're a Star Trek fan or not, but he's going to be at the Palace.
Oh, really?
On Halloween.
Okay.
And he will show Star Trek 2, which I think is one of the greatest science fiction sequels ever made.
That's a good one.
And he will talk, and I think you can get your picture taken.
Really?
And stuff. So.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah. In 95? 90,
yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look it.
No, my gosh.
Now, he did stroll up in his little jazzy car, his little. but other than that, he was. Mm-hmm. He seems like he. And then when was the eclipse? Was it last? 2 years ago.
2 years.
Was it 2 years ago? Yeah. He was up at Bloomington, and
he was.
He didn't need any help at all.
Mm-hmm.
Very. Just. And I think he just recently got knocked off a horse, so he's still.
Mm-hmm.
horses.
Yeah.
So anyway, so what? As we get, other than the parade and some things, what are we looking forward to this summer, city-wise? I'm sorry, I keep saying beer. On the bricks, we'll have those events going on, and we're starting to, I think, wind down on South Main Street.
So that's a two-piece there, yes. And so I did fail to mention that on the parade side. So all the contractors know that we're having this event, and so we'll have everything prepped and ready, and barricades pushed back, and so there won't be any obstructions getting down and viewing and being able to be participating Saturday. But you're right, things are going very well. It's on schedule. There's just a lot of concrete. Obviously, we got sidewalks on either side, and it's just a long distance. So there's just a lot of concrete work right now still. And as that progresses, you're right. We'll get down to where the rail bed was. I think we called it last week the camel hump. But that's going to be a little bit of a chore getting that cut down and leveled and built appropriately. So that's kind of one big piece yet. But otherwise, you're right. That's winding down. It will be finished this year. There is a completion deadline on that. So this summer, yes, it will look much different in a few months. Quite frankly, it'll be nearing done, and then it mirrors the other side of Maine, going towards the stoplight, and so all the nice stuff, if you will, the top coat of the asphalt, and then you'll have the new street lights and things like that come there at the very tail end. So it'll be done, but again, and then it'll allow for the fair parade. That's not that far away either, and so we've got that to work in that schedule. But once that's done, and not to sound like a broke penny or pardon me, an old penny or a broke record, pardon me, there's still more to do, and then we're going to do a CCMG. I'll tie back to where we started this morning. The Jackson Street corridor is next, and you'll start seeing some work there this year, and that's from about Elm Street on out to 160. Okay. And so it will be a lot like Kimball Boulevard in the speed. That will be another one that's a few storm sewer grates that are in conflict. There's a few places that just need a little tweak, but because that was a former state road section, it's got a large right-of-way, so it'll be easy to navigate in there too, and make that work and flow with no road closure there either. Good deal. And I've said before that the real key to that project is that we are designing this with a center turn lane in that. So, gosh, all those businesses that are in that corridor where patrons need to turn left, it will really be a lot better, a lot safer, make it much easier to navigate.
Now, so will you widen that some, or will that just be done within the space?
No, we won't have to take any additional right-of-way. It's already there.
Okay.
Just because, like I said, NDOT already had that in their footprint, so it'll fit right in.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
And then was that last year's grant?
Yes, December. That was our December award
for this year. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So again, the running joke is the state flowers is the orange barrel, and I know we've got our fair share of them too. But gosh, they're such good projects, and the final product is so nice.
Oh, I know. You've done wonders with that with these grants, and just doing the sidewalk, the fresh pavement, everything looks great, and the lights that you put up on just off the east side, that fantastic.
Yeah, that's still pretty cool. Once a week it's dark enough. Usually I'm through there, and I tend to forget how cool that is.
I wish you could do it on the west side, but that I don't know that'd work.
The logistics are a little tough there. A little tough. That hill.
Yeah. Yeah. And they had the red tulips on the square. They're about gone now, but the red tulips, everything just looked fantastic downtown.
Yeah.
And that's got to make you happy.
Yeah. Looks good
to see all that. Will there be a lot of different banners out this year?
Yeah, actually, we are hanging this week the 250 banners, so look for those. A little bit of a teaser, and and then I want to plug the Master Gardeners. They are doing the flower pots again this year, and we've added more. So when you see they're sitting there right now idle, well, they're idle only just for a little bit. They've got their watering system built in them and positioned where they need to be. So We got flower pots all the way around the square.
Cool. Do you know what they're going to put in there?
I do not, so I think it'll be full of color nonetheless, but I don't know exactly what they're putting in.
Good. We're trying to plant things at home that are pretty and take less maintenance.
No maintenance.
Well, everything's got to have a little bit. Yeah.
That's the goal, isn't it?
My suggestion was plastic, but plastic doesn't. They fade out. So.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
And you don't have to water.
That's
it.
right.
You don't have to pull weeds. You don't have to.
And the deer won't eat those.
No, the deer won't eat them. No.
Oh, they shouldn't.
We don't live deep in the woods, but we have the deer and the raccoon and the. I haven't seen any armadillo yet, although we're supposed to have some around
Evidently,
here. Yeah. Has anybody?
No, I have yet to hear anybody say they've seen one.
And but we saw one. We see him on the side of the road down south.
Sure.
I wanted to pick one up and
preserve it until you got home.
Put it out someplace and say, "Oh, look."
Right.
But anyway, we had a raccoon, and the dogs can hear things that we can't. Probably a lot of people can hear things that I can't. But anyway, I thought our Great Dane, who just turned 7, so he's starting to wind down a little bit, but he's still got some stuff. And I thought, well, I'm letting him out. Well, he went out like he was ready to go, and there was a raccoon, and him and this raccoon had a smackdown. It was like a WWE.
No kidding.
Dog style.
Right.
And then after it was over with, I think he was in shock for about 20 minutes that, what did I just do?
Yeah. That was a mistake.
But anyway, the coon survived, but I think he played possum.
Yeah. Oh, did he? Okay.
It was weird. I mean, he just laid there, and then as soon as I got him going towards the house, he took. Yeah. I'd never seen a possum do that till a few years ago.
Right.
And they do.
Yeah.
It's a wild defense mechanism, but anyway, that was our excitement the other night. And then he went to go out last night, and I said, you're going to have to. I'm going to put some paper towels down here for you because I don't know that you need to go back outside, but. I thought, no, I'm not doing that. So out he went, and I walked out with him, but there was no animals out there. So
good. Coast is clear.
I let him out. There was one out eating the cat food, and I thought, this was a few years ago. I thought I will let you out. So I let him out, and this thing reared up on its back feet, and stood about 3 foot tall, and hissed at him, and he turned and ran for the door. But the other night he did not. He went out there like a champ.
Yeah.
Now the little one, he'd probably go out there like a chump. He would. I don't think he would. That would be. I don't know who would win on that one.
Right.
I think he's a little more bark than bite.
Sure.
But it kind of makes you a little proud of your dog.
Yeah.
When
protect the territory.
See him out there doing that.
Right.
Especially, he's starting to get gray in his face.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah. Still knows what to do though.
Yeah, I want to tell a joke I saw.
Okay.
I don't know if it takes a little bit to think, but you might get it.
All right.
You might get it. And I asked my German friend if he knew the square root of 81, and he said no.
Okay, I don't get that one.
Okay. In German, no is 9.
Oh, good grief. Okay, I see.
Okay. You can use that.
Yeah. Okay. Oh boy.
That's a thinker.
That is a thinker. I was taking it way too serious.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, dad jokes.
Yeah.
I had to share that one with Steve Corp this morning. He appreciated that.
Good.
Anyway, well, thank you for coming in, and we've come to the end of our program, and now we're going to do some surgery around here, I guess. And but anyway, let's thank our sponsors this morning.
Please, yes. I want to thank Mediview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Roses, Fox Perley Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, Springer & Springer Insurance, Schneck Hospital, Temple & Temple, and Wes Bowers for Commissioner.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and we will be back tomorrow. Miss White will be back tomorrow. So, and as we get closer to Derby week, we'll be uh, talking with some of the folks about some of the programming going on down there, and maybe check in with the Louisville Bats too. They'll be having their I guess Saturday they would have the opportunity to go to a game and stay and watch the fireworks.
Yeah, that's a full day.
Yeah. So anyway, we will be back tomorrow. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you.
Louisville's longest-running pro sports team is back. Come check out Louisville Bats Baseball at Louisville Slugger Field. Family-friendly entertainment at budget-friendly prices inside the best minor league ballpark in America. See the Cincinnati Reds of tomorrow up close and personal today. And the Bats promotional schedule is something for everyone. For a full look at the 2026 schedule and to plan your day at the ballpark, talk to a real person at 502-212-BATS or head to batsbaseball.com.
Give Du Bois County Tire a call. Big or small, they service all. They have the name brand tires, you know, to keep you cruising on down the road. They got tires for driving mean. They even got them for your farm machine. You can call them day or night. Du Bois County Tire does it right. Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
Now through March 31st, get up to $180 back on a Bridgestone prepaid MasterCard. Get $80 when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires. Get an additional $100 when you make an eligible tire purchase with your CFNA credit card. Available at Washington County Tire Shop in Salem. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See BridgestoneRewards.com for details.
Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
Bourbon and Beyond is back. The world's largest music, spirits, and culinary experience returns to the heart of Louisville, Kentucky, featuring Foo Fighters, Mumford & Sons, Chris Stapleton, Dave Matthews Band, Queens of the Stone Age, Casey Musgraves, plus Red Clay Strays, Hootie and the Blowfish, The War on Drugs, Foster the People, Jason Isbell and the 400 Unit, Counting Crows, Jesse Wells, Jesse Murph, Goose, and so many more. Bourbon and Beyond returns to Kentucky Expo Center September 24th through 27th with access to the thrills of Kentucky Kingdom Theme Park. Don't miss the best 4 days of the year, blending world-class music, food, bourbon, and more. Passes are on sale now at bourbonandbeyond.com.
At Papa John's, get your everyday favorites for just $6.99 each when you order 2 or more items from the Papa Pairings menu. When you order more, you save more. Choose from medium one-topping pizzas, boneless or traditional wings, papadillas, breadsticks, cheese sticks, garlic knots, and desserts. It's easy to order all your favorites when they're just $6.99 each. So the next time your friends come over to eat your food, check out the Papa Pairings menu to save. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Hi, this is Wes Bowers, and I'm a Republican candidate for District 2 Commissioner here in Washington County. If you're anything like me, you're tired of the way business in our county has been conducted. Whether it be improper procedure or a simple lack of communications, things rarely seem fair to the average person, but appear to benefit a few that are in the right positions. I believe that my 12 years in the Marine